early access and beta games, is it positive or negative for the industry? So how do you manage the expectations from the end user? How do you avoid feature creep and avoid getting a game stuck in the demands of the fans? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, you use the right word in there, expectations. I love early access from a developer's point of view. From a player's point of view, I'm not as excited by it. I like to have something finished. So I don't go out of my way to seek that, but that's just my own personal opinion. A lot of other people are really excited to contribute to the creation process. And they're like, you know what? I've been waiting for a city builder that has no combat and you can just have a million people and finally one's come along. I want to make sure that they don't do this and they do that and they do that. So you get the players who have this opportunity to shape the development and they love that. They're so excited by it. So I think from that point of view, really, really positive. I love that. From the point of view of the developers being able to put something out there and see whether people are into it and see how to change it and how to improve it, get feedback, really valuable. Also to get a little bit of money because, it takes time and takes money. So if you have to wait until the full 2 years have done and the game's fully complete, then you get some money. You might have run out of steam by then. So it's good to get some money. So I like it from that point of view. And as the question was framing, it was about expectations. That's the critical part of it, just to make it very clear to people that this is early access. We're still working on it. And to be giving regular updates, like at least once a week. Here's what's going on. Here's what's next. Here's what's changed. I think the community or people out there get really upset when they don't hear anything from the developer and they don't know what's going on. And they think developers taken their money and just run. Or the developer says, it'll be ready by Christmas. I didn't mean Christmas. I meant Easter. Wait. No, I meant Christmas in 3 years' time. So I think that's the other thing that makes people really mad. So it's super important. I think that that games set realistic expectations and not to be afraid to have, to say December when they think it might actually be September, and to delight the audience, the community, the players when it's actually ready in September instead of December. Like, hey, we said December, it's ready now, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's all part of the expectation setting and communication and treating the early access players like they are your family as opposed to like they're a paycheck. But I've seen so much good come out of it. And interestingly, I was playing a game I was watching a YouTube fellow. Who was it that I was watching? I forget who it was, sorry. But anyway, I was watching a guy, he's reviewing a game, Kingdoms and Castles, I think it was. And I was watching it and I was thinking, that's a rip-off of a game that I'm sure that's already been done. This is totally a clone, rah. And then I thought, hang on a minute. And I looked in my Steam library and I had that same game and I hadn't played it for 2 years because it had been in early access when I got it. And it clearly didn't, I'd played it 3 hours. It hadn't captured my attention. I'm like, oh, it's fine, whatever. It was okay. I'll come back to it one day. And I totally forgot about it. But then I saw this content creator talking about it. And I went, because I'm still interested in city builder, medieval theme, all that kind of stuff. I'm still interested in that as a concept. And the developer had been continuing to work on it. So I came back and had a play of that game and it was cool. It was good. I wasn't mad about that process. And it wasn't a case of because I'd played it and left that I'm never going to come back. I just needed to be reminded to come back. And for me, it happened a bit accidentally that I stumbled across it, but I was happy as a player with that experience. Have you had the same experience with early access? Are you okay? You cool? You a fan? You like it?
That's an interesting question because I've never gone early access. I always want the game to be complete. But I'm very much a different gamer to most people. I just like to go along with the story and just sort of plod along happily.
Story
and
guy, are you?
I am, yeah. But these days, actually, I'm happy creating the things rather than playing them. It's just an odd. I do like playing, but I get a bit too into it and then end up getting distracted from other things in my life. So I'm not really the person to ask. But the one thing I did think that's so important is treat them like your family. Those your audience, those people who have jumped on board early. I think that's really important for everything you do if you're a creator. Your audience, and in fact, as a YouTuber, I find that's important. Those people who are asking questions and comments and stuff, don't ignore them. Speak to them, communicate with them. That's essential, I think, for building up trust, because that's what we all count on. We go to places we trust because there's so many places you can go. So if you know you're treated like family there, you'll go back there for the next game and the next game as well. So
Yeah.
I think those things are really important.
That's something that I think we often miss as game developers. We're focused on, I need to make a good game. This is what I like. This is what I want it to be. This is a good game. And sometimes it's easy for us to miss out on the fact that you're actually making a product for someone else. You're making a thing to bring joy to someone else, so that someone else has to feel the joy. And if they get there and play that and say, I kind of don't like this or that, then that's very important. If you don't listen to that, if you don't really absorb that and take that on board, then why exactly are you making the game? And you might say, well, I want to make the sort of game I've always wanted to make. That's cool. That might mean you're a hobbyist, where what I mean by hobbyist is you're not actually trying to make a game that's a commercial game that you're going to sell and make money and do this as a business. That's totally okay. That's not a problem at all. If you're a hobbyist, be a hobbyist, make a thing. It's like, I've always wanted to play a game like this and no one's made it, so I'm going to make it myself, damn it. And then you make it yourself and you love it and it's great and that's awesome. That's like mission accomplished. That's a really cool hobby to have in life, I think. If you're going to transition from a hobbyist to be a professional, then you need to say, well, not so much the customer is king, but you need to say, I'm making this for someone else. What does that someone else think about it? And how can I make it as engaging as possible for them?
Yeah, quite right.